Shawnee, aka Total Makeup Junkie 101. So today I have a really large H&M beauty haul. If you guys have been keeping up to date with the makeup world, you guys probably know that H&M just released a huge beauty line, and this is a very interesting launch in my opinion, because they released, I believe, over 800 different products in different colors, different formulas. So trust me when I say that this launch is not only really big, but there is probably going to be something that you're gonna wanna get your hands on. I believe all of the products are available on the H&M website, and I will be sure to put a link in the description box down below for you guys. I actually found my products at an H&M store. If you guys live in the LA area, the H&M store in the Del Amo Mall does have the entire collection on display. Prior to going to this location, I tried to check some of the other H&Ms that I had closer to me, and none of them had the makeup line. In fact, a lot of the sales associates didn't even know that there was a new makeup line. I did find that a little strange considering this is such a huge launch, but either way, I don't believe this line is available in a lot of H&Ms, so you may have to call up your local H&Ms to see if it's even available there. When I finally found this line in stores, I literally spent like 3 hours swatching and playing with the testers. They had testers of pretty much everything in the line. And spoiler alert, I loved a lot of the things that I got. If not most of what I purchased, I am really happy with. The pricing on the line is a little bit more expensive than I was expecting for H&M. It's right in the range of an upscale drugstore line like Sonia Kashuk. But to go along with the price, the quality is very nice, and the packaging is really nice. So I'm just gonna jump into showing you guys everything that I got. I got a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff, but my justification for it was I bought it on my birthday. So happy birthday to me. Remember when I said I bought a lot of stuff? That's how long my receipt is. And it is just like listed down the receipt. So we are going to have to go through this quickly and efficiently. So starting off with single eyeshadows, this is what the outer box looks like. The shadows are called the high impact eye colors. And then this is what the outer casing on the actual shadow looks like. You can see it's really beautiful with this metallic gold, and it has the white shiny plastic casing on the back. You can still see the color that's actually inside through this clear window. And then the casing just pops open, and that is what the eyeshadow looks like inside. Personally, I think it's absolutely beautiful. I will say that the packaging is very lightweight. And these single shadows retail for $6.99. So I think that's a pretty fair price. That is right around the price, or maybe $1 more than the Makeup Geek shadows, but these do come in a compact. So you can keep them in the compact if you want, or you can depot them if you wish. And each of the single shadows does contain 2 grams of product, which is just a little bit more than a standard MAC single shadow. When I saw the display for these single shadows, there were so many of them. It looked like there were like 100 different colors. So I walked away with 16. Yes, I said it, 16. That's a lot, but when you look at how many colors they offer and how many gorgeous neutral shades, blues, purples, greens, golds, smokies, they literally had everything. I tried to pick out some of the more unique colors in the line and shades that I thought were unique to my collection. But of course I was sucked into getting some neutrals as well, because I just love neutrals. So these are the first 4 shades that I picked up. From left to right, we have Baci Di Dama, Candied Almond, Mojave, and Way Past Midnight. I believe Kathleen Lights was speaking really highly of Baci Di Dama. I believe it was that shade, because I don't think she could pronounce it either. Candied Almond is just that perfect transition shade for me and my crease. Mojave is a gorgeous color that kind of reminds me of MAC Satin Taupe, and Way Past Midnight is probably the most unique purple color I've ever seen, because it has this really strong silver glittery finish to it. These are the next 4 shades I got. From left to right, we have Gala Gown, Chin Chin, Sun Worship, and Sharp as Mustard. I think you guys can clearly see why I picked up the first three shades because they're all super, super glittery and really, really gorgeous. I was surprised by how well the glitter actually sticks onto the skin, and these swatches are with no primer whatsoever. And you can see Sharp as Mustard is a really, really unique kind of muddied, pukey green color. These are the next four shades I got. From left to right, we have Turmeric, Russet Rose, Orange Ochre, and In the Red. I have really, really been into these warm toned colors, and I felt like Turmeric was definitely a very, very unique orangey yellow color. I'd never seen an eyeshadow color like this. The other three orangey colors I also think are really, really beautiful. You probably wouldn't need both of the last two shades for a normal person, but of course I felt the need to have all of it. And these are the last four shadows I got. From left to right, we have Water Sprite, Mediterranea, Stargazer, and Blueprint. I feel like all four of these shades were completely justified when you look at the swatches because I don't think any amount of words can actually describe the beauty that are these blue shadows. If you guys were interested in seeing a look that I did using a lot of the blue shadows that I picked up, which I personally would say are probably my favorite, definitely check out my Get Ready With Me video. I will be sure to put a link to that video in the description box down below. I did a full blue glamorous looking smoky eye, so that link is in the description box. One thing I did want to point out is that a lot of the shades that have this glitter to them, this particular shade is Stargazer, but some of the neutral glittery shadows as well, I feel like the glitter shows up so beautifully when you first apply it onto your eye, but throughout the day it seems like the glitter just vanishes. It doesn't even fall on your face. I don't have a problem with fallout with it. It just seems to just evaporate into thin air. By the end of the day, I had hardly no glitter on my eye. It looked like I just had a completely like matte royal blue smoky eye. And while the shadows did last very beautifully for the most part, it was just a little disappointing that the glitter didn't hang around. I haven't had a problem with any of the other shades. The matte shades are beautiful. They blend flawlessly. The metallics are super creamy and pigmented. I definitely think these single shadows are some of the best products in the entire beauty line. Now the other eye products that I purchased are these cream shadows. Now H&M puts them in a box like this and they call them their Color Essence Eye Cream. Now this is what the packaging on those cream shadows looks like. It is in a nice weighty glass jar and the price on these is also $6.99. Now for the packaging of these compared to the single shadows, I definitely think these feel more luxe. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell just by looking at the product, but the texture of these is really, really light and moussey and almost whipped like, but it does deliver a lot of pigmentation. I want to say there were about 8 to 10 different shades in this line. I picked up 5 for myself because that is the max that I could even narrow it down. So here are the 5 shades that I picked up. From left to right, we have Countess, Dauphine Truffle, Earth Angel, Gentlewoman, and After Hours. Something I do want to point out is that all of the shades that I picked up do have some sort of metallic or some sort of glitter in them, and all of the shades in the entire line did have at least a little bit of metallic shimmer. I know there are a lot of people on YouTube absolutely hyping these to the moon, and I definitely think they're worth it. These are really, really great cream shadows. Now, to be fair, I haven't worn these alone on my eyes. I always top these with some sort of powder shadow, and I have gotten them to last all day with no creasing or any issues. And I would definitely say this is probably one of the best bargain products from the line. I do feel like $7 is very fair for this product given the nice luxe packaging and the product itself. I really like these. So now let's go ahead and jump into talking about blush. I definitely think the H&M blushes are amazing as well. Let's just first take a look at the outer packaging on these because it's definitely the most uniquely packaged product, in my opinion, in the entire line. It comes in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, so it's a hexagonal shaped packaging. It has this nice shiny black on the front and it's got this beautiful foiled gold on the back. It's stunning. The only thing I would say is that I do feel like the weight of the packaging is not there at all. For looking at it, you would think this would be even just slightly weighted, but I mean, this is like the cheapest plastic ever. And that is kind of unfortunate given that the product is so elegant looking. I wish it was kind of more luxe feeling, but either way, this is what the inside of the packaging looks like. You can see you have your circular pan of blush. You don't have a mirror up here, which is okay, but I suppose a mirror would have made it look even a little bit nicer. This is what the outer blush box looks like, and H&M calls these their Pure Radiance Powder Blusher. These babies retail for $9.99, which I do think is a little bit pricey for a blush, but I mean, I can't say anything bad about them either, other than the price. The texture is beautiful, super smooth, silky, pigmented, blendable. It lasts forever. These blushes are amazing. Here are swatches of the 4 shades I picked up. Firstly, we have Rosy Brown, Tango Pink, Coral, and Imperial Red. You probably wouldn't need both Rosy Brown and Tango Pink since they are kind of similar in that neutral family, but I definitely think Imperial Red is the most unique shade because it's a very, very orange-based matte red. And I don't even think the camera wants to pick up on how bright that color actually is. It is practically like neon. It's the first one your eye will go to when you look at the entire blush display. H&M does have a lot more shades of blush as well. There are a lot of lighter colors, so if you're looking for a light neutral shade for your skin tone, they have those. They have some more brighter and darker colors. I believe all of the shades I got were more on the darker side. And another thing I did want to point out is that you get only 5 grams of product in these blushes, which is a little bit smaller than a full-size MAC blush. So just something to note. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and dive into the lip product pool because there were so many lip products, different types of lip products, and so many different color options that H&M had. I personally got really overwhelmed. I could do it with the shadows and even the blushes, but when it came to the lip products, you guys know my philosophy on lip products. Either I buy the entire line or I just don't get it at all. I am kind of an all or nothing kind of gal when it comes to lip products, but I definitely could not buy the entire line, and I still wanted to be able to try the formulas to share my thoughts on them. I put aside all of my rules that I have for lip products and decided to just pick up 3 of the traditional lipsticks, and I did pick up a couple of their other lip options as well, but this is what their traditional lipstick looks like. Here's the box it comes in. H&M calls them their cream lip colors, and these retail for $9.99 a piece. Once again, I think that is kind of on the pricey side. I do think a $10 lipstick is kind of an awkward price because I don't view it as drugstore, but I don't view it as high-end. It's kind of in that awkward middle ground. Despite that, the packaging on these, once again, is absolutely gorgeous. You have a shiny white on the top, a beautiful gold on the bottom, and then it just pops open like that, and your lipstick comes up like that. Just to let you guys know, you do have a colored sticker at the bottom, which does pretty closely represent the actual shade of the lipstick itself. Here are the 3 shades I picked up in the cream lip colors. From left to right, we have Brunette Ambition, Haute Pink, and Heirloom. Now, Brunette Ambition and Heirloom are pretty obvious as to why I got them. Those are definitely my types of colors. Haute Pink, that intensely neon pink, I primarily picked up because I feel like it was the most unique color in this entire collection. It is a Fuchsia Fluorescent Hot Neon Crazy Barbie Pink. So as you guys could probably tell by the swatches, the consistency on these is beautiful. They are practically one swipe pigmented, super creamy. These are not matte by any means, nor does H&M claim them to be matte. This is for that person who just wants a nice, traditional, creamy, moisturizing feeling lipstick. Now, is there anything particularly life-changing about this formula? No. You can definitely get a lot of traditional cream lipsticks at the drugstore for much more affordable than 10 bucks. But if you wanted to try these, I would say they're a fabulous formula and I don't think you would be disappointed in them. Next lip formula we are going to talk about are these jumbo lip pencil type items. These are called the Lip Color To Go. Now H&M has two different formulations of these that come in the exact same packaging. The only way you'll be able to tell them apart is that the matte formula has a matte top and the shiny formula has a shiny top. Now making it even more complicated is that these do not come in a box. They're actually just wrapped in that shiny clear plastic wrap. So that does make it a little bit difficult for you to tell which ones are shiny and which ones are matte. Luckily, there are testers and I want to tell you guys the price on these, but of course on the receipt, the only things written are Running Cosmetic, Color Cosmetic, and H1 Sanitary. Pretty sure these were $9.99, maybe they were $6.99, but I'm pretty sure these were the same price as the lipsticks. First things first, I want to clear up to you guys that the shiny formula is so completely different to the matte formula. I mean, these are practically like opposite lip products. Most of the shades in the shiny version of these were more on the sheer side. You could definitely build them up, but these definitely took a little bit more layering than the matte ones. When I went through and swatched them, I decided to pick up the most pigmented shiny shade I could find, which happened to be this particular shade. But the matte shades across the board are incredibly pigmented. The formula on the matte shades are like that old school traditional matte lipstick. They are so super pigmented, but these are so drying. I mean, you put these on your mouth and you can just feel yourself just sucking out the moisture out of your lips. These are almost worse than a long-wearing liquid lipstick. If you have a problem with liquid lipsticks on your mouth, I definitely would not give these a try. I do have this shade on my lips right now. This one is called Zinfandel and it is a beautiful color, but I will say it's so drying. Here are swatches of the 4 shades of the Color To Go lip pencils I got. From left to right, we have Bonne Vivante, Chocs Away, Curtain Call, and Zinfandel. You can see the first shade is the only shiny color that I got. The other 3 are that matte finish, that super drying matte finish. Now, because these are really dry on the lips, they are so long wearing. These are practically completely transfer proof and smudge proof and budge proof, and I actually have a really hard time getting these off of my mouth, even with makeup remover. The shiny formula is definitely not drying like these, but I wouldn't say these are particularly moisturizing. These are kind of just a less great version of the lipsticks. These ones that we just talked about, these are really good. These are like a not as good version. And to top it all off, you have to sharpen these. These are not the twist up retractable pencils. So personally, I wouldn't buy any more of these, and I'm somewhat regretting my purchase on the ones that I got. These last 2 lip product formulas, we'll just go ahead and talk about both of these together. They are different products, but I only have 1 shade of each of the formulas. And I will say that I have yet to try either of these formulas yet, so I can't really do a full review on them. First formula is the Gossamer Lip Stain, and this one basically goes on like, it doesn't go on super watery. It has more of like a gel consistency to it, but this is one of those stains that will eventually kind of set and dry down on your mouth. And do be warned, when this thing says it's a stain, it is a stain. You will not get this product off of your mouth for like 4 days. I feel that I can make that bold of a claim because I could not get this product off of my hand when I swatched it in the store. It didn't come off for 4 days. The other lip product I got, this one is called the Velvet Lip Cream, and this is not really your typical liquid lipstick. Once again, to be fair, I have not worn this product yet, but it feels like it's more moussey and it doesn't seem to dry down as quickly. And here are swatches of both of those products. The Gossamer Lip Stain is in the shade Leading Lady, and the Velvet Lip Cream is in the shade Dare Me. You can see both of these colors are really, really nice. That first lip stain is surprisingly very, very pigmented, and even the Velvet Lip Cream is really beautiful. It goes on super opaque in one swipe. I will definitely have to play around with both of these formulas some more and let you guys know my thoughts in a future video. But for now, the swatches have definitely impressed me. And just to let you guys know, each of these formulas is $9.99 a piece. So I believe all of the lip product formulas were $9.99. if I'm not mistaken. Now, the last products I picked up were a bunch of these nail polishes. H&M had a huge nail polish display, and I actually picked up, what did I pick up, 12 or 13 or 11 or a bunch of different shades. And while I'm not going to go through all of them because I don't have swatches of all of the shades, I do want to show you guys the 6 shades that I picked up that I think are the most unique shades. First off, we have this shade, which is called Olive Grove, and this is the color that I'm wearing on my nails right now. And I have actually been wearing this polish for over a week now, and it does have a little bit of chipping, don't get me wrong, but it is very, very minimal. This polish applied like a freaking dream, and it lasted so well on my nails. This other shade is called Mauve on Up, which is such a cute name, and it's a beautiful kind of cream finish grayish purple. This shade I would definitely say is very, very unique. It's called Golden Turmeric, and it's a creamy mustard yellow. This color is one of their many duochromes that they have. This one is called Green as Gold, and it's a beautiful kind of mermaidy, greeny, golden type color. This shade in Cinnamon Spark is beautiful. It kind of reminds me of MAC Club eyeshadow. It's kind of like that pinkish reddish brown with that blue shift, and it's got a pink shift. This last shade I wanted to show you is called Precious, and this is another kind of duochromy gold to pink to teal type color. It's amazing. These polishes are only $5.99 a piece. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that you only get 0.27 ounces in here, which is about half of a typical OPI or China Glaze bottle, but I would rather pay a couple of dollars less than OPI and get less product because I'm not one who's using up nail polish that often. Another thing I wanted to point out is the brush on these. Can you guys see? It's kind of like that wide brush, which is so amazing, and it makes it super, super easy to apply. The formula on these is like butter. Smooth, pigmented, creamy. I love these. So that pretty much wraps up my huge H&M beauty haul and review for you guys. I hope this was helpful. I will say that I did not pick up even close to the entire collection. I didn't even pick up something from the different types of items they have. There were some lip glosses that I didn't pick up. There were tons of face products. They had foundations, primers, powders. They also had eyeliners. I think they also had lip liners. There were just so many things. There was no way I could pick up a little bit of everything. I definitely do want to go back and check out some of the other colors on the products that I love, but I think for now I did enough damage. Either way, I hope this video was helpful, even just as a reference tool, especially for those of you guys who don't have a store near you that sells the line, so you can't go in person to test it. Hopefully these swatches helped you out so you have a little bit of an easier time ordering online. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to check out my H&M Get Ready With Me video, which is linked in the description box down below. And I will talk to you guys in my next video on Monday. I'll see you then. Bye. I picked up my first Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks last Black Friday when he made, because it's a neutral color. Don't think that the pigmentation is lacking because the pigment on these blushes